A gentleman brought this bike in the other day after having a little bit of an accident on the road, and it doesn't really matter what happened, but the gentleman checked the bike over and he was quite happy. There wasn't really any scuffs or any damage to be seen, so he continued to ride it. The next day riding it though, he did get the feeling that something wasn't quite right, so he brought it in to us to be checked over, but our findings were quite scary and I'd like to share this with you. So the customer reported some problems and a strange feeling from the handlebars. So once he left it with us, we got it here into the workshop and started taking the headset to pieces. So I'm removing the handlebars and the spacers. We can see here that he's cracked the steerer tube. This is a carbon steerer tube, but even if it had been aluminium or steel, it would have still bent or cracked in the same way. And this is where the fibers now have started to come out. This whole handlebar arrangement could have just dropped off at any time while riding, just by hitting a small bump in the road. It's really quite scary, and it really shows that no matter how little the accident you've had, you should always have the bike checked over. This particular one had no buckled wheels, no damage, just one little scratch on it, and the customer was quite happy to ride, but the consequences of this falling off could have been quite bad. So the solution for this particular bike is quite straightforward. We're going to speak to Trek and get a pair of forks shipped over to match this bike. In this particular case as well, there's a crash replacement scheme, so Trek will help towards the price of the forks to make it a little bit more manageable for the customer. But the big thing is we can get the bike back on the road and get the guy riding again, and that's all we're about. Thanks very much.